Short back and sides. Épisode numéro 3. We back. I'm Millionaire Mike. To my right, got the DLC, the Doc. To my left, we've got Trife. There we got Mr. Blake for the audience. And Pleasure P right there.
Pleasure P.
Pleasure P right there.
Bringing that pleasure, yeah.
So today, boys, we've got a controversial one.
Another juicy one.
Another juicy one, man.
Bit juicy.
Very juicy.
Pause. I feel like the whole sentiment has gone to a different level because that is probably sending people in the wrong direction of what we're actually going in.
Bring it
back on track. Bring it back on track.
Yeah.
We talk about real stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's a subject matter that we've probably been thinking about on our own or collectively as boys. Today we'd like to bring it to the audience. Is it right for a woman to hit a man? Equal rights. Do they deserve an equal left?
Or an equal right.
Or an equal right?
I think we need to add a bit more of a caveat in what you just said there, in the sense of, if she licks me, am I allowed to lick her back?
And it depends who it is as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So there's a lot to explore, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you saying? So okay, all right. Let me give you a scenario.
Okay.
So girlfriend, 2 years, been nice.
Yeah.
Nice,
And-
nice, yeah.
It's been really nice.
Yeah.
She finds out that you cheated.
That's a bit different.
But it was
I
not-
think.
No, she
Yeah.
found out you cheated.
Yeah.
And she goes through your phone. She found out you cheated. You've been cheating for time.
Yeah.
She literally boxed you in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Straight hook. I'm talking Roy Jones.
Lift you off the
Yeah.
floor, thing.
Jones.
Yeah.
What happened?
Do you know what? For me, I've been in something like that. And you just got to take the L and charge it to the game.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you've, can we say on the thing?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
If you fucked up in that regard, you have to take ownership and accountability and just take the L.
Yeah, take that off.
So I'm talking stilettos, everything. It's like she's throwing everything at
Listen,
you.
I can show you the scars, you know. No, sit down. I can show you the scars
Right, okay.
of where it's gone left. But again,
Yeah.
I've had to G-check myself and say, yo, brother, you're the reason why it's gone left like that. Is the reaction warranted?
Yeah.
It's a bit excessive, but ultimately, I was the one that's caused all this thing. You know?
I hear what you're saying, and I think it's important that, you got to hold up and say, you know what, we're both in this, and there's stuff I've done.
Mm.
But equally speaking, is that like an equal return for what you've done? Like physical violence.
Yeah.
When you think, let's put it this way, you've cheated, so you've caused, I'm going to label it emotional damage.
Yeah.
Is that then repaid with physical damage? I don't know.
Don't you think...
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
I wouldn't say that, but I'll say it's more of a kind of reaction to it from them.
Yeah.
As in just like,
Yeah.
like surprise kind of thing,
Yeah.
shock kind of thing. I wouldn't say, I don't think anyone should put their hands on anyone, male,
Yeah.
female. I think that's the last resort, really.
I think there are times where like a situation can happen or you can come into some news that instantly gives you a reaction, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then if you think about it from a standpoint of principles, that girl might have a set of principles about loyalty or whatever.
Yeah.
So in the heat of that moment, finding out because you said about the relationship's been nice, innit?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if you're that person, like if it was me, relationship's been nice and all that, I don't know how my reaction would be in that instant. I'm not saying it's right to put hands or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I think in what you were saying, that cause bit, the cause and effect
Yeah.
part,
Mm-hmm.
potentially in that scenario, I'm not saying it's right, but maybe it's a little bit understandable in terms of
Yeah.
the reaction's been instant,
Yeah.
the reaction's been thingy. And then for me personally, how you attempt to handle it. Now, there are different methods of violence, yeah?
Mhm.
And the thing that you were saying about that violence piece, I totally agree with that. And there's different ways you can come at something. But sometimes in that heightened emotions or whatever,
Split second.
it's restraint.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I had a situation where I don't even know what happened. Some sort of thing happened. And this ex-girlfriend of mine, she literally was coming for me, bro. Like nails, everything. But she wasn't thinking. When I look at it, she was not even thinking what she was doing.
She blacked out, brother.
Yeah, she was. She was in a complete frenzy, bro. So the only thing I could do at that point, literally, bear hug her.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
strange.
Literally.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, she wasn't thinking. If she was thinking, I think she would have tried to attack me differently. Like, if I'm being honest.
So can I give you a spin then?
Yeah,
So this is interesting. So let's flip it then. Yeah. So your woman cheats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by the logic that I've heard, so then would it be okay if you just find out as a man that you turn and
No.
No.
No,
what's the difference?
So each person will react differently because there are men out there who would lick the woman.
Yeah.
They would, yeah.
They would
100%.
straight up backhand.
Yeah.
Me personally, if I come into that kind of news, I know my reaction would be one of like extreme. I know that.
Yeah.
And I'd probably raise my voice. I'd probably flip because those kind of things. But would I feel physically the urge? I can't. Like as I'm thinking about it now,
Yeah.
I can't visualize or physically feel myself do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But absolutely, I know there'll be a reaction.
So then from that basis then, so why is there this difference then? So why is it if you cheat on a woman
Yeah.
and
why
she
is
lashes
that
out, she can thump you up and you can be like, okay, I'll turn the other cheek.
I don't agree they can
Yeah.
pump you up. I
Yeah.
just think it's because there are different ways, there are different scenarios that could cause a girl to want to come and hit you. So like I've been hit by a girl in a different scenario and I can't lie to you. It
Will
turned
you
me
laugh?
on, bro.
Hold on. I said it turned him on. Do it again, babes. Do it again, babes.
Nah. I'll level with you, yeah?
Dominatrix.
Like no. Straight up, if I'm gonna be honest, people that know me, I've always said I'd love a 6-foot woman to choke slam me through a table and just fucking boss me. I can't lie, right? That's just one of them things, yeah? I'm sorry, but that's true.
You be watching too much WWE. man.
But when that person hit, like she did that, it was in public outside a tube station, North London, yeah? And at first I was like,
Yeah, I can't do this. I can't do
I was like, no, but how to explain it? It wasn't like we weren't having an argument online. Basically, I hadn't seen her and she was frustrated. She was like, bap, yeah? I can't lie. I was like, oh, yeah, I like that.
Sorry, Pete. Was that like a defense? Because it made it sound worse.
No.
It was fine. I hadn't seen her for a while. She was like, where you been? Slap.
But that's how it turns into, I need you. Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Made me do this.
Bam.
But on a serious note, though,
I-
on a serious note, though, like, but pass, like, on a serious note, do you think at any point it's acceptable for women to lay hands on a brother in this climate, of equal opportunity where you don't know for sure? Because if women are fighting for equal pay in senior jobs, equal opportunities, I even heard that the lionesses in football are getting paid the same money as the men, even though we know that the men World Cup generates more eyeballs, more sponsorship, more paper. Yeah. But there is this equal rights environment currently taking place. So if a woman dares raise a hand at you, she balls up her fist and she's about to Mike Tyson hook you, and AJ style, what do you do? Because I know for a fact, that when it comes to men think twice about violence because we know that, listen, if I pipe up my voice at this brother, I know that this is going to go left real quick. So, and I could potentially lose my life over these beats.
Exactly. Men inherently understand the risk we pose to each other.
Yes.
Like whenever you meet a man informally, we all, in our subconscious, because our genetics, size that person up.
Yeah,
You know, what's going to happen in this situation?
I
You make
was
those
wondering that,
calculations and then
Is
you
it
say,
worth it?
is it worth it? Yeah. That's what we just do. It's natural. It's unwritten in us. And because we understand our own devastating potential, we keep each other in check. We know there are certain things that if you step across, like if I see a man holding another girl's hand, it might not even be his girlfriend. It probably couldn't be his girlfriend. But if I step there to chirps him, even if it wasn't his girlfriend, we are now in a confrontation because to the whole world, I'm disrespecting him as a man. Do you get what I mean? And so we understand the propensity for each other to enact violence. And I feel like this is a bit of a gray area that now women are skirting into because the society deems it different for a woman who strikes a man than a man that strikes a woman. They don't have that gear in their mind that says, this brother is double my size.
Yeah.
He's got more muscle mass than me, scientifically, bigger bone density. You know, that fist is going to be a lot bigger than my fist. If I hit him, the potential for him to hit me is a lot more devastating. So I need to know that I shouldn't do that. And it's that kind of realm of what that makes me think, well, so you know, in inverted commas, like a good man, I'm going to invert in commas, you will strike him and he's going to turn his face and walk away. So that, in my mind, almost seems like another form of abuse because you're abusing a position of power.
100%.
So
Well, I mean, I'll give you a prime example. Yeah, if you were in a domestic situation, yeah, and a woman was to call the police, the police will probably take you into. I've seen it happen.
Yeah,
I've seen it
all the
happen.
time.
Yeah,
Of course.
there's a Barney going on. Mrs. yapping away, man yapping away. Man showing a bit of aggression because his voice is deeper and suddenly he's coming right in your face. You get scared. You call the police. They're removing the man out of this situation. And I've seen men spend a couple of days in cell, go back to the house as if nothing happened. And I'm like, what was that for?
I can do that.
It's because the law, to some extent, favors the women's position. So are we saying here that women are taking advantage of
They are.
the repercussion of the law against men?
It depends on your school of thought, because I saw this footage with Whoopi Goldberg the other day saying, look, if you hit a man, expect to get pumped back. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think everybody is there in that regard there in terms of, right, if I lick you, I'm going to lick you back. So it depends where you are on that sort of spectrum. I know if I was to shut a gal a box, my mum is going to make me know about it. My auntie's going to make me know about it. My sisters are going to make me know about it. You know what I'm saying? So, and it goes back to what you were saying and that whole thing of the sort of the restraint, the boundary. Because I was watching that Sylvester Stallone film the other day where he was actually the bad guy, but the media portrayed him as the good guy.
Yeah.
Right? And he basically said, why would you want to lose your life to somebody that you don't even know? That's why more time when there's an arms thing, I'm not telling a man F you, I'm telling you God bless you, because God bless you is more personal. But I don't think everybody has that school of thought, because as you were saying, Pascal, people are emotional, and when certain things have just happened, it's just kind of like your reaction is just to wild out. People not thinking of the bigger picture or the consequences of what could happen. Yeah.
I think one of the things you touched on about the position of power, yeah. So I think women can be in a position of power that they create where they almost put themselves in a place of superiority through probably that piece that you say about sizing up the individual and what the potential devastation could be, and then taking the fact that it's a good guy, and they believe that that's not going to happen, and therefore they push the buttons. Like I have experienced that myself, where
I think we all have.
there was a girl who just like knew how to push my buttons, continuously push my buttons, and at any point where my voice was raised or potentially I'd physically done an action, not in terms of touching her or something like that, but I'd classic example. It's like, oh, well, what is that going to lead to? Or, oh, I'm terrified. Or, let me call my friend and, I don't know what Pleasure P's about to do. Pleasure P's going to just do something nice and caressing, not like, what I mean? That's how I like these arguments to turn out.
Yeah,
But that can build up for a long time in a guy. And then you see the guy snap.
Yeah, everyone's got their breaking point.
And I think women sometimes forget that. Like, I had to say to this person, there's only so far. That wasn't a threat of like, I'm going to do something violent or anything like that. It's more a case of, I'll just leave. Because actually the environment that we've created together or whatever is a reasonable one. And then you've created this thing that, like you say, becomes toxic, which is that anytime I don't do something that you like, or I do something that is of my own thing, you're going to kick off under the, I guess, in essence, pretense that I'm going to do nothing.
But for me, I think there's always kind of like warning flags before. So you won't just get a box one time, like, as you said, you cheated or might have done something and someone's pushing you or stuff like that.
Like that two-finger push in the head.
Finger push, whatever.
Come like, go.
That comes like an uppercut from Sagat, you know that?
Yeah, man. You know that was actually unscripted.
Is it?
Yeah, he just went with the flow and just
indeed.
rock her in her blood clot head. And then poor Tash was like, yeah, that weren't in the script. So that's why you have to, what's the word?
Ad-lib.
Ad-lib.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me,
Been waiting since season 1.
I think for me, it's more trying to know them signs and then avoiding that, because it's always going to go to her punching you next. So
let me cast you lot back, yeah?
Yeah.
Like a few decades, right? Show your man's age now, but do you remember that infamous beef between Rihanna and Chris Brown? Yeah. All the media showed was Chris Brown basically being some kind of abuser, women. And man had to do a whole Michael Jackson rendition to apologize. But what people don't know, subsequently, years later, I heard that Rihanna was giving him the chat. They were she was literally like on his case to the point where Chris might have reached a breaking point. Because one thing we don't really talk about is men's mental health. We're supposed to be this
100%.
strong guys all day, every day. We got to be, mind's got to be patterned. We got to constantly be on our A game, right?
This comes to that point, right? Because women, realizing what I'm saying as I say this now, more unfollows coming.
Take time, my youth. Take time.
Let me get my popcorn.
But they take for granted the fact that men's mental health is not a commonly discussed thing, right? And so if a man at times shows A, vulnerability, or B, moments of uncertainty or unsurety in what you're doing, because around the table, we do quite big jobs and stuff. There are times we make decisions in the day and you come back and you don't want to make a decision, or 100%. You're not even sure the decision you make, and then you just get that in the ear. Sorry, go on.
But I want to interject there because I keep on hearing your partner's supposed to give you peace. But I think sometimes you got to find the peace within yourself for looking for next somebody to give you peace. You know
I agree with that. But when you go in a partnership, for me, being able to be vulnerable, just me as a person, I'm not speaking for everyone, being vulnerable or being able to have my own doubts of something that I've done or a decision I've made or something that impacts, because the things that we do impact people.
Of course.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have that. And if you're with a partner, for me, that partner should play a role to say, it's okay, or whatever.
Yeah, but P is the thing. You can't be vulnerable with every smuddy. You really, really can't.
No.
Because even the ones closest to you think, oh yeah, let me drop my guard and tell you how you feel. T2s, they're flinging it back in your face.
Yeah.
So you have to be calculated in terms
That's
of
the gaslighting thing.
Yeah,
That's the worst thing
yeah.
to set a guy off.
Your significant
You're out
other
there
can
battling.
actually,
Yeah.
she knows what pushes you.
But
But this comes back to that piece. This is what I'm saying about the men's mental health. This is exactly what I'm coming to. Like, they know that. They can exploit that. That's why I was saying I'm going to lose followers. Women can exploit that.
They do.
Yeah, but on the flip side, I think we can do the same as well. I don't think we can all sit here and
But I
say,
think we'll be more measured.
oh yeah,
In the heat of the moment,
yeah.
I'm not going to go and say, your thigh's too thick.
Whoa, boy,
You know
it
what I mean?
depends. It depends.
Whereas a woman will
depends.
say, your love handle's too big.
Yeah.
No problem.
Listen,
Pleasure P.
I feel like I agree. I feel like there's a propensity for women to be a lot more brutal in those senses, whereas a man will probably will also be thinking, what are the potential consequences of what I'm about to say?
Yeah.
Do I want all of this smoke? And I don't mean it. Let's be honest. We don't mean it. Yeah, that's just the moment you're pissed off. And I think you draw for the handgun, when all you need is a few words. And she draws for the shotgun.
Or we adapt to stuff we see.
I'm going to share something with you, man. Yeah, that's quite deep. Because
I put the cup down.
Yeah, it's quite deep.
Not the cup.
It's quite
They
deep.
almost felt disrespectful, innit?
And a lot of the time, and when I've looked back on it over the years, I honestly believe that this woman told me this thing to try and make me thump her in, so she could justify her decision and what she did. So back in the day, I'm not gonna name the name because I'm still cool with that person. But back in the day,
And they do come back.
I got cheated on by this thing, right? And she told me face to face, because I don't think she could live with the guilt, because we were together for a very long time. So she couldn't live with the guilt. So she told me, well, go on, right? And as a man, obviously, I asked the questions that men ask. Did you like it? Is it John? How many times did you smash it? Did you back his Johns?
oh my,
Did you know what I'm saying? Like I'm being real with you, man.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to be a fake.
Yeah.
No, I can see it in your eyes.
It's hard for me to digest.
This is
And you know what,
this
brother?
is
Thank
real.
you. Thank you for
This is real
sharing.
punditry.
Thank you
Real
for sharing.
punditry.
Thank you for sharing this, by the way.
Yeah, this is real punditry. Could you believe it? Every single question I asked, she said yes. He's much larger than you. It hurts me.
That's the part. What?
I came several times. I sucked his
But it
dick
hurt.
many times. She said things to almost probe me to the point where, because she was revealing what she'd done, and she was ashamed of it, she said all the things that literally could cut. I'm talking.
Yeah, like-
man was like, I was getting like daggers, like killed everywhere. Because that's my pride. This thing, I love this thing to death. There was nothing I could have done for this chick. You know what I'm saying? And you still would kind of get a bit emotional talking about it. But even at the point where she revealed all these things to me, I couldn't have found it in me to tamper in, because that's what she wanted me. She wanted me to tamper in because she was so ashamed of what she'd done.
I know,
The
yeah.
fact that our friendship had been decimated for a poor decision that she made. And she just wanted some kind of, the only way that she could live with herself is knowing that I deserve to be boxed. Because when a woman talks to you like that, and I know a lot of men would have fucking killed this thing. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Do you really? Sorry to cut you. Do you really feel she wanted you to box you? Because I'm very much of the thing. Because you asked
why
the
would
question.
a woman say these things? Because when you think about this, some of the things that she revealed, it's probably some manhood.
Yeah, but
no thing.
But he was about to say something.
Yeah, go on.
Here's the thing, though. You asked her them questions. It's not like she's volunteered the information. You asked her, so you in the back of your mind, you're gonna hear things that you're not gonna like. And this is what I'm saying. Sometimes nobody asks them question if you don't want to hear the answer that comes with it, brother. You see what I'm saying?
But brethren, remember the context. She confessed her sin to me.
Mm-hmm.
So she knew what she embarked herself in. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When you telling me that you cheated on me, you got to understand. I'm gonna have to also hold for questions.
See from the relationship that you guys had, would she expect you to ask those kind of questions?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
She knew. Yeah. I mean, you're talking at a 4 year.
Some girls like,
come on.
No, I hear you, but
brethren, you telling me,
I've got to be honest with you. You're braver than me.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. The fear of what the answer be to this question.
No, I needed to know.
I'll just be like, yeah.
I needed to know.
Did you though? Did you though?
I'd rather live in the world of ignorance.
No.
My heart isn't that strong.
That just not only did that mash up your ego, but it mash up your manhood. And this is what I'm saying. The whole thing of you're hearing a woman that you loved and gave your all, but next man's brucking it up and doing the things you can't do. No, bro.
No, listen.
Listen.
Let me clarify. I did extremely well. That's
what bring yourself back in, isn't it?
It's got the sound of the boat, you know. It's emotion in the ocean, but I'm telling you from day, like I've taken her down bare times. Because even after listen. Wow. And I tell you what, because even after this incident, I was still beating it anyway. So it wasn't as if this guy was super duper. Yeah. But I think I genuinely believe that, which is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Yeah. Because if it was a thing where I'm stopped sleeping with you forever and never beat it again, then I would say, but maybe I was inadequate. But the fact that I was able to beat it afterwards makes me realize that, okay, you said this to really trying to break me. You're trying to break me to the point where you want me to tuck you in. To the point where that's the only way you could almost live with yourself. Anyway, that's how I interpret it. Which is why I think some men could be driven to violence when a woman is saying things like that. And it takes a strong brother to say, you know what?
Train themselves and just say,
you know what? It's cool.
Hands on.
I think we might be asking the same thing.
Yeah, you first.
Anyway, you go for it.
Why did you ask those questions?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, brother.
Like, why those questions? Because like, if it was me, I'd be like, what I might say, might say to her.
Are we pretending that we will not ask those questions as men?
No,
bro.
No.
I've got to be honest with you. I've got respect for you. Honestly.
So am I some kind of pervert?
For me,
No.
That's pleasure B.
No, I'm just saying, like, if I'm thinking about myself or my mindset, I'm thinking there are certain key responses that I know could derail me. Yeah, and they could trigger me. Yeah. And, like, to
the point of violence?
I'm not even thinking to the point of violence.
Who knows what the outcome is?
Life. Tomorrow, I'm here to get up and go to work. If you shattered my whole world, I might just be laying in bed saying, "No, fuck those patients. I'm just staying home." You know, it really shatters you as a man. And that's the thing. And I need to function like my kids rely on me. There's so much more to it. So for me, giving someone all that power just seems. I know now you've already broken my heart. That makes sense. I'm not going to ask you, say, here's the dagger. Yeah, man. And finish me off. I'm just going to say, look, there's the door. Goodbye. And I'll do my repairing.
You might, in those moments, the girl might say, this is what they did. Yeah. As in, like, they might say, this is why or whatever. I'd take that as me as a person. I'd take that as feedback. Yeah. I wouldn't be saying those questions to her.
And also, I want to add,
you're lining it. For me, you're lining it up.
Yeah, you are.
And also, you gotta remember when but you gotta remember when all man step out on man, it's an emotional thing. So obviously, there was some emotional needs. You want to think was us as man, we're stepping out our ego. Look at me, because what did you want to be that guy? You're there trying to send the email, dear boss. my girl was getting doggy that, and my man made her come. Nah, brother, don't do that to yourself.
You
man.
be playing that shit. You
Yeah.
must have been
Replaying that.
You must
You
have
know
not
what I
even
mean?
know. You might not have
when
played it,
even
but
when
you
you
must
lot
have been
being
thinking
intimate,
about it.
You know, they're getting in a
Listen,
position,
man,
and then
yeah,
you're
that's
like,
true.
That's
no,
the
I
thing.
can't do that. I can't do that. Exactly.
I'm sharing this here because there might be somebody somewhere going through this
Okay.
something.
Yeah.
That's true.
There's somebody somewhere might sitting in pen because of the same something,
That's
in the same situation. And all I'm trying to say is that look, I asked the questions because I wanted to know what would have led her to basically doing this, because I did everything. We did everything together. We were best friends.
Yeah.
But again,
But leading questions.
You know what? Though?
So by asking those questions is because there was such a closeness and in intimacy involved.
Yeah.
But
that
clearly
I
not.
wanted to know, like, why on earth would you want to do them things
But
there?
clearly
Because-
not.
Do you know
No,
what I think
clearly
we're
not.
saying is, I'm not even saying that your way is wrong. So please
Yeah.
don't think that. Like, I respect
Yeah.
you totally.
Yeah.
My
Everyone's
thing
way
to
is-
you was saying that I think you're a bigger man than me, because
Yeah.
if those words were said to me, I feel like I
Pause.
don't think I could have continued. You know what I'm saying? Like, and as a man, there's a lot we have to do. Like, and if that hits you, that takes the wind out of you. You know,
I'm not
and
gonna lie.
Yeah,
it worked me for
that's what I'm-
years. It
that's
took
what-
me about 3-4 years to
That's
get
what I'm
over it.
saying. Yeah, and as a
Of course,
man in this
don't
world,
get me wrong.
it's so brutal.
But now it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good now. Like,
But
I
you say
really
you're
care
talking
about
to
it.
her now.
No, listen,
like,
I'm
not
cordial.
talking, I
I'm
mean,
cordial.
like-
If I see the thing on road,
I'm cool.
He's like, you fucking bitch.
no. Listen, it's all good, because at the end of the day, like that, if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have met my things and wouldn't have had my kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it was
yeah,
one of
yeah.
those things that it happened for
Yeah.
a beautiful reason. If I had to go through again, I'd go through it again. Said way.
Okay.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
Okay, if you was in the situation again, would you ask the questions again?
I would. I'll be honest
okay.
with you. If my missus cheated
Hey,
on
you
me
got-
right
that's
now,
on the video.
no, listen. If my wife was to cheat on me, I'll ask her to say. I said, "What the fuck was going on? What did you do? Where did you tap him? Did you tap him in the house? Did you tap?" I would want to know.
No, you can't ask that.
No, bro. I'm telling you, like,
No, but I
may-
respect that. I respect
maybe
that.
it's
Yeah.
just me.
I respect
maybe,
that,
but
yeah.
I would want to know so I can understand the psychology of what's going on. But at that moment in time, without thumping my missus, and that I genuinely don't know what I would be prepared to do, because I didn't do it once. Maybe I was younger, I had more energy to restrain myself. But when you see your wife and this is your
There's a
wife,
difference.
You built a life.
it's a lot.
House
It's a
and
lot
kids
that
and stuff.
it's a lot that a man can take. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to think so. I'd like to think no, because I've been with my missus, babe, for many years and never done anything like that. But the point is, we've never been pushed to the edge of life. And what I'm saying is that sometimes, even the punishments that men get, sometimes you got to look. That's why in courts, they look at they look at how you conduct yourself outside of the crime sometimes, because sometimes you might just be out of character. It might just be something like in France, there's crimes of passion. There's a legal system that takes into consideration crimes of passion, right? And if you happen to be killing your missus for whatever reason or vice versa, the judge takes into consideration, because it's the emotion, it's the passion that's led you to display acts of violence. Yeah. Is it excusable? I would say no, but you can understand why people will be driven to do certain things, especially
No, I
they
agree.
deeply love and care about somebody.
That's why they say there's a thin line between love and hate.
Love and hate.
Definitely is, man.
One of the things I was thinking, like, with this topic, so, when we touched on at the beginning, Doc was talking about men in a room, we'd size each other up, sort of see who you're willing to scuff or whatever. I guess what I was sort of thinking in my head is, for women, obviously that's a completely different angle. They don't have that as an actual, well, as far as I know, they wouldn't have that as an actual instinct. So a woman wouldn't walk into a place and say, "Oh, could I have her in a fight?" They'd say,
Depends on the girl.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Nowadays.
But I'm just thinking in terms of like coming to an act of violence.
Do you reckon
one of-
so? Because sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
Because I think we're talking more on like a subconscious level. I think subconsciously, like I said, a man will walk into a room, and we do this because it's almost a survival instinct. I don't think subconsciously a woman does that. I think consciously they may walk into a room and just say, "I'm feeling bad tonight. I could take her. But I don't think as a subconscious they would look at every man and go, "Brrr, I could take it. Brrr, I
Are
better."
you talking like a girl saying that about a man? I can take Wayne, or I can take.
No,
another
like
girl.
another girl.
Girl,
No,
yeah.
Take them
I
how?
disagree.
Yeah.
I disagree because I think it depends on A, what have you got to lose, and then I think B, in terms of where are you on in the social sphere, where are you in the setting in terms of if you're working as a, I don't know, for HSBC in Canary Wharf, you're making 6 bills and everything there. You just think you're looking at it thinking, yo, you're just baby food. You know what I mean? But if it's a case where I don't know, maybe you're above me and you're showing it in ways, then yeah, you might think, why, you know what, it would be to take you out would be a big thing.
But you see, what you said there is showing it, and I think the key thing that we're saying is just on a subconscious level. So you just naturally speaking, you're walking down, let's say you're walking down Oxford Circus, and you see, a blonde girl, and you're a girl. Does a girl look at another girl and say, "I could have her"? I don't think they do.
I agree.
I don't think they do. But I think men, have to do that. And I think what P's going to go on to, because women don't do that, there's a different mindset, and therefore they don't get this next piece, I guess, that we're talking about.
You see it all the time when you go to nightclubs. You see man at different tables trying to buy out the bar. This table's got a set of bottles. Nah, man, we got to get more bottles than them and more gal. And it's that competition, and you just kind of thought, you come to rave and you're trying to impress the next man. I don't get that. I don't get that.
Those kind of things are reactive, and I think like Doc, I'm gonna use an example, right? For your subconscious thing. The first time I saw Doc, I was like, I wouldn't want that fight. And that's not any reason. That's just like you say. That's that subconscious thing. I don't think girls do that.
It's a survival instinct. But then I think it's just in our wiring to do.
But I think one of the things maybe, and this is what I was thinking about when we're leading up to this, some of the cultures that either A, we've grown up in, or B, people around us have grown up in, they have seen probably their mothers or women get physically hit.
100%. 100%.
And then as a consequence of that, when you take into account, so I can't remember who was part of this show or pre-show now, but when we're talking about 2023 and how things have changed, etc., do women see it as a place of, actually, you know what? I'm not going to stand for that. What my mother stood for, I'm not going to stand for that. And maybe there's things and triggers there that happen that maybe bring out a sense of, do you know what? In that situation, my mum got licked with a plate or something.
Yeah, Pleasure P, that's actually a very good point, because when you even come in from a family where you've got siblings of different genders, when kids fight each other,
that's true as well. Yeah.
How long? Until what age do you intervene as a parent to say, okay, you can no longer hit your sister because you're physically stronger than her, and your punch, your kick might actually hit her? We don't really know. Like, no one ever really teaches us that. It just happens until they actually stop it. Because you got some. I remember my older sister. I couldn't stand her because she was older and she was strong. Strong Ghanaian jollof cooking woman who used to lick me, used to punch me in the face, and he would hurt like a brother. Yeah. And he got to the point where, like, I said to myself, I'm gonna fight this bitch. I'm gonna have to fight her because she's licking me like a brother. She's strong.
So hold on. If we go to the question, then in that scenario, when you're, I don't know if you hit back.
I had to.
Okay.
Oh, we had to rock. We had to rock.
So in that scenario, what was your parents' reaction?
And here's what was interesting.
I know that's a deep question.
My dad was vexed because even my sister's my half sister anyway, so that even made him even more pissed off. The fact that his child that's not even his is hitting his son, to the point of, like, you don't need to discipline my son anyway. But if you are rocking him, it doesn't need to come out to blows. Like you know what I'm saying? When you punching me, when you are physically stronger than me and bigger than me. So it got to the point where my parents essentially intervened, and they had to basically tell her, like, look, you can't touch me like that. But it also highlights a lot more as well. It also highlights the respect that women have towards some men, or towards men in general. Because some cultures
come to this.
Because some cultures, men are revered, and you can't touch a man.
You can't touch a man. You can't read.
I think the other thing is, in some cultures, it's almost, and there goes my followers, but it's almost expected that the man may even hit the woman.
Yeah.
In some cultures. I'm not saying that's correct. I'm just saying that's just the culture. That's the culture.
Yeah, it happens.
There is a thing, I think, as well, that some of these women, if I think about the one that I had the incident with when he was coming at me, closed environment actually was brother, sister, siblings, so probably saw some sort of fight in there. Also, probably from a background where violence may have been used in a household. So when we talk about these things,
I think that's very true. I think when you find girls that have had grown up with a lot of brothers, they're more aggy, they're more on it, they're more like, hit a guy. Kind of thing. That's what I found.
I guess the other piece is they've probably taken some licks too. And we may have a perception that they don't know what to expect, or either B can't take a lick, and sometimes that might be where it comes from as well.
Yeah, man.
I think it's a bigger thing.
I mean, ultimately, what we're basically saying is that there's no need for violence.
There's not.
I agree.
There should not be any need for violence.
100%.
We should be able to be resolve any issue, no matter how severe the situation is, it's got to get to a point where we don't naturally need to lead to violence. But we can understand, based on the fragility of someone's mindset, mental health, you know, there can be some triggers that can actually lead to acts of violence. And at that point, it's about being able to deal with the situation at that time. You know, because I know, as you said, Paz, I know a lot of families that wouldn't be families today if acts of forgiveness weren't really exercised, or you know, if mediation wasn't taken into consideration. Because I witnessed a lot of violence, when I was a kid, between families, you know, and a lot of it was to do with infidelity. You know, uncles is smashing this woman, and auntie finds out, and she's busting up, throwing irons at him and tucking him in, and he's mad. And you witnessing all this as a kid, you know, and it's not nice. You know, and the point, and you see it going on a lot regularly. Sometimes you see uncles not making enough money, women stressing him out, telling him how much of a waste money is, and he don't like it, and next thing you know, pow, and you're like, raw, and you freeze in shock. Because as a kid, you don't expect that kind of, because you look up to your parents, you look up to your uncles and aunties and elders as role models, and you see that. What do you think that does to you as a youth? You down all that information.
Well, I think before you guys were talking about like discipline with kids, etc. And I think from that generation, when we would see that thing, like what you were saying, your uncles and aunt fighting or whatever, maybe even our parents fighting, whatever, you saw a consequence there. That was violence. And then we as children, probably the consequence was violence. We referenced the different objects we've been hit with and stuff. The key way out of this is, whether it's male or female, is that the education from us has to be correct, and also the steps that we can take has to be correct. Because what would you do if you find out your son hit his missus? Or
would women do that if they knew that was...
I was gonna come to that, because there was a girl. It's gonna be a bit vague now. There was a girl that I dated, and I think probably in her.
Trying to be anonymous is hard.
Try.
Trust me, they don't watch.
Well, I said that last time, but in her like later teen years, maybe earlier teen years, I think she had quite traumatic relationships with men pre me. That probably did involve violence, or maybe even things like sexually, etc. And I think that person was quite reckless, not just in terms of like men or whatever, just generally quite reckless, and therefore had a I don't give a fuck mentality. What's the sort of worst that can happen?
Nothing to lose kind of.
And
like you were saying,
we had some. I mean, I have to be honest. She never sort of came towards me physically or anything like that, but you could see in her that, like, you know, if she ever
went one way.
I mean, her tolerance was very high, I would say. But I got two. Yeah, go on.
Pleasure, Pete. I want to bring something very quickly, very quickly, and I think we can probably try and close it with some closing statements or closing ideas. Your missus gets into a fight down the pub with some bird. The bird was having your missus up. Do you step in? Do you box this thing? That's
the honest truth. Yeah. Okay. So
I'm gonna start
truth.
with you. I'm gonna start with you.
I would probably not strike. What I would do is either trip her up, or find some way that I could enclose the situation.
Like the one where you like kick the back of the leg and it swings around the other.
Yeah, like literally kick back of the knee and then like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't strike.
I love it.
Politicians answer, isn't it?
Mr. Blake, your missus, you're out in a rave, a nice tune come out, and some woman just took out your girl weave, and she's vexed, and they fight, and they
I like the
fighting,
involvement of the story.
and they're fighting, but his thing is having your missus up. What do you do? Do you
don't forget to pick up the weave?
What do you do?
You have to intervene, because obviously if we're a partnership, innit? Like, I go down, you go down. If I go up, you go up. So I've got to intervene. I'm not necessarily have to shut her up or something, but I'm making sure that I'm intervening where my woman is no longer at harm. And I've become that protective basis and stuff. Because at the end of the day, this is where it can go left even more. Because
fantastic.
All I can, because if I go in there and then start clap up the wall, you don't know who else gonna, and then
that edit starts from there. Look at this.
Pumping up this woman, exactly.
See on YouTube.
But it's just so mad. You have to think like that. You have to see the bigger picture.
It's awful, because also you got to think about was your woman satisfied with the way you intervened?
Oh well,
Because you know you ain't getting no after that.
Not even grateful. Why didn't you lick her up anyway?
You get nuts.
You saw me getting thumped and you just stood there.
no.
You just checked her up, bro.
And trust me.
And I've been in that situation before where I felt I wouldn't say it was a beef thing, but I made an intervention because I felt I saw fit that was gonna get us to see another day. Yeah. The next day, why did you do it like that? I don't run and da. But I'm thinking, I'm seeing the long term of it all. You're only seeing the short term. And I think this is the difference I think this is where a lot of couples get into passes because one's seeing it one way, another one ain't seeing it in another way. And this is why it's very hard to get that balance.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
I'd ask her how we got there in the first place, bro.
Try your turn. So basically, you out and about. Your thing is crisp, beautiful, looking nice, and then some girl was walking over and literally slapping her up. They had some ops from back in the day, and she's thumping up your thing, and your thing is looking absolutely stunning. You're in a nice restaurant, the Shard, and everyone's watching you. Yeah, what do you do?
I love the way this story's evolved. I can't wait to hear my one.
I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, as Kilo said, restrain, definitely. Have to restrain, take her away from the danger. And because I've been in situations like that where I've tried to like take her away from the danger and then try to like, what are you doing? And then someone else jumps in and it just gets into a big brawl kind of thing. So I'm not into that. Get me growing up now. Get me back in the day, I'd only been about it, but now it's just obviously taken away from the danger and just allowed it basically.
So you say back in the day, perhaps you'll have maybe grown a little left.
I've been all about it back in the day.
Okay.
You know, as you grow, you get mature, not into them things.
So you'll take a mature option.
Yeah, 100%.
So I just want to interject as well because also like and Doc, I know you faced it as someone that's like 6 foot plus. You're very conscious of how you maneuver in certain environments. So make it be the thing where someone's whacking in my thing and then I just come in and launch myself straight away.
Aggressive. I've seen it happen.
Exactly.
The thing is, I have seen it happen, and in some cases, it's been justified violence. I come to you, Doc. Yeah, you and your missus have had a really pleasant evening. You just come out of Mahiki. Yeah, and you just went to Novikov. You went to Novikov. Yeah.
You're already angry because you spent that.
You went to Mahiki, right?
Really vexed now. It's like...
You went to Mahiki. She's telling you like she wants to go to Novikov. You go to Novikov now, and some Russian woman's just going off her nut. Yeah, and she's pouring champagne on your missus' beautiful dress, and she's bottling her, and she's getting the best of your missus, and you realize that, oh my God, my missus isn't that strong. What do? Do you get involved or you what?
So for me, I just walk away. Now I'm joking. No, on the real, I think I agree. So in those situations, we're a partnership, innit? And for me personally, this is global. Like, I'm not a guy who's about violence. I don't believe in it. You know, I don't think. I think we're at a stage now where we don't need to define things like that. And the last thing I like to see is women fighting. And it's a thing that I've actually been told off for because I've been in places, especially abroad, girls have had drinks and they start fisticuffing. And you know, I see everybody there with their popcorn. I just can't watch it. So I'm needily in there. I'm breaking it up and I'm separating it. So for me, my actions would just be to, again, like I'm conscious of exactly what you said of how I move because I'm a bigger guy. And easily a phone could come out, be nicely edited, and I'm the aggressor. I'm looking just to get between. I'm hugging my girlfriend. I'm lifting her up. And we're out. Done. Yeah. And we sort that out between us. I'm not going to stay in the environment, be in the environment. I'm not allowing another man to come in and then say, oh, what's going on? It escalates. I'm picking her up. We're out.
That is a good point.
Well, on that note,
and another
guys,
thing, can I just touch very quickly?
Very
quickly before you go. I would also like to think, though, that I would have picked up signs before. I think if you go to an establishment, a guy usually is good at reading the room and saying, you know what, there's some tension here. Time's about to go down. Get your bag. We're going to go. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to think I would have kind of caught it then.
But you know you'll get we're not going.
Yeah. I'm enjoying myself.
But gents,
another martini.
This is the end of episode 3. Yeah. Follow us on all social platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, for more content. And don't forget to like and subscribe, man. We need you guys to support the team, man. Bless up, everybody.
Thank you.
Guidance.
That didn't go too badly, didn't it?
Yeah. Time.